distribution, I'm going to discuss normal distribution using R. So before going to proceed with the R studio, let's discuss the what is actually the normal distribution, what are the parameters that defines the normal distribution. Then we'll after go for the R studio, that is practical demonstration of the normal distribution and their inbuilt functions using R. So what is actually the normal distribution? Friends, normal distribution is nothing but the probability distribution. It is a kind of the probability distribution, and this probability distribution defines how the values are distributed, how the values are distributed with respect to some random numbers. But this distribution follows a specific pattern, and this pattern is a symmetric pattern, and this is the speciality of the normal distribution. Why it is different from the other distribution like the Poisson's distribution and binomial distribution? Because the curve or the probability distribution curve of the normal distribution is a symmetric, and most of the observations are the clusters around the central peak, and the probabilities for the values further away from mean taper off equally in both directions. Let's get the meaning of this. For here I'm drawing the curve of the, just wait, let me change the color. This is the curve of normal distribution. So normal distribution curve is a symmetric curve. Symmetric in the sense whatever the area to the left side of this line is equal to the area right side of the line, and this line which is at the center is called as a mean line, also called as a median line, and also called as a mode line. So in case of the normal distribution, mean equal to mode equal to median. Okay, hence the all the data along both sides of these two lines are equally distributed, hence the distribution is a symmetric, and this symmetric distribution is called as a normal distribution. So how the normal distributions are distributed, or what are the parameters that defines the normal distribution? So let's start with the parameters of the normal distribution. Parameters, this parameter defines its shapes and the probability of the normal distribution. The normal distribution has a two parameters. The first is mean and the second is standard deviation. And this mean is denoted by the mu and standard deviation is by sigma, and it is represented as x follows normal distribution with parameter mu comma sigma. Now let's come to this mean. What is actually it is? The mean is a central tendency of the distribution. It defines the location of the peakness for the normal distribution, and most values are clusters around this mean. Okay, let's come here. This line is a mean line. Okay, and most of the data are the cluster here. It is its peakness. The peakness, this point is a peakness point, and most of the data, what this peakness indicate, the most of the data are the cluster here. Then standard deviation, standard deviation Standard deviation measures the variability and defines the width of the normal distribution. Okay, width in the sense, okay, how much spread. Okay, this spread of the data, this spread of the data is defined by the standard deviation and determines the how far away from the mean the values tends to fall. Okay, means up to what mark this curve is tends to extend. Okay, this is defined by the standard deviation. So let's start with the functions of the R software or R studio. So in order to perform the normal distribution in R studio, we should know about some basic uh, or inbuilt functions that are used in the normal distribution in R studio. So first function or first inbuilt function in R studio is R norm. R norm function, what this function actually indicates. R stands for, here R, this R stands for the random. R stands for the random, and norm, this norm stands for the normal distribution. So what actually this does, this, the purpose of this R norm function to generate the random numbers from the normal distribution. So it generates the norm, generates random numbers in such a way that these random numbers or the generated random number or the set of the generated random numbers follows the normal distribution. Then what is actually the syntax for it? Syntax for it is like this. Syntax R norm n mu, that is mean, and standard deviation. This n denotes the how many numbers or numbers of random number that we have to generate. Random numbers we have to generate, and mu represents the mean of the normal distribution and sigma represents the standard deviation of the normal distributions. Then second function is, second inbuilt function is d norm. Here d stands for the density, d stands for the density, and this norm stands for the normal again. So what is the purpose of this d norm? D norm, it's compute the probability density function for the given normal distribution. What is this probability density function represent? Probability density function actually represents the probability of a random number, okay, within the range of the normal distribution. Suppose we have a data set of 10 numbers, okay, or within that 10 numbers, if I randomly select any number, okay, what is the probability of this number? So probability of the any number within the range of the normal distribution or within the data set of the normally distributed data can be calculated or the computed by the normal denorm functions. And the next function is a pnorm. Pnorm function, pnorm function actually used to find the probability. Let me explain first this. P stands for the probability. and norm stands for again the normal distribution. So what is this compute? Okay, this compute the cumulative distribution function, cumulative distribution function that we simply call CDF. Okay, it compute the CDF. What is CDF? CDF nothing but the probability of a number from data set. So previously we also discussed the dnorm find the probability density function. Here pnorm again it finds the probability distribution of the number, okay, from the data set, and probability density dnorm also find. Then what is actually the difference between the dnorm and the pnorm? Dnorm actually find out the probability of a random number only, but suppose I have to find the what is the probability of the 4, then it exactly gives the probability of 4 only. Okay, if I want supposed to find the what is the probability of a number less than 4 or equal to less than or equal to 4, then it computes 0 also, 1 also, 2 also, 3 also, 4 also. So in order to add some these values, okay, we can't go first find probability at 0, then 1, then 2, then we sum up all these again. So to avoid these complexities, okay, we have a pnorm function. By using the pnorm function we can find the cumulative probabilities. Okay, then say syntax for, sorry, syntax, let me write the syntax first. Okay, let me explain the syntax for dnorm also. Okay, the syntax for dnorm is dnorm x means the number, mu and sigma. Okay, similarly we can write the syntax for pnorm also. Pnorm, that is x, mu and sigma. Okay, the syntax is similar. And the last inbuilt function in a R Studio is qnorm. What is this q represent? Quantile. It represents the quantile, and this function is the inverse of pnorm function, inverse of the pnorm function. It takes the probability values and gives the number of whose CDF is matches. Okay, means suppose a data set where I, by using the probability function, pnorm function, okay, I have computed the probability of any cumulative distribution function of any uh, number. Okay, and I got the probability, cumulative probability. Then by substituting the probability, I can find the numbers, okay, for which this, for which number this probability matches by using the key norm function, q norm function. And the syntax for the q norm function is syntax q norm p, mu and sigma. Okay, now I have to make attention to the point, that is here p norm. So whenever in our statistics we find the probability in such a, the probability of x greater than or equal to 4, okay, or probability of x less than 4, okay, or probability of x equal. So you in R Studio we can we can get the probability of less than only. Okay, there is no any mechanism by pnorm function. Okay, if we apply the pnorm function we cannot give the we cannot find the probability greater than or equal to, we always find the probability less than only. Okay, so if I have to find the probability of p x greater than equal to 4, then how would I will compute px less than 4 by this function and will subtract that value from the 1. Okay, because we know that probability of x less than 4 plus probability of x greater than equal to 4 will be equal to 1. Okay, so this is the inverse theorem of the probabilities. Okay, so this is all about the inbuilt function. Let now proceed with the practical questions. Okay, so let me start with the R Studio. So here we are with R Studio. Now we have to perform or demonstrate inbuilt functions of the normal distribution. So start with the very first inbuilt function, that is R norm, that is random number generation in the normal distribution. Suppose we have to generate the thousands random number of the normal distribution, a normal distribution with mean 350 and standard deviation is 75. So I will first initialize a variable x, okay, and assign them r norm, and I will generate 1000 and with mean 350 and standard deviation is 75. Okay, I will hit enter. Okay, the random number is generated. Now let's check what are these random numbers. So I will write x and will hit. Okay, these are the random numbers, thousands random number generated by the random number function. So this way we can generate the random number function. Okay, there is one more method, like if I have capital X assigning, okay, r norm 50, I'm writing 50. Okay, so I have generated 50 random numbers, but I did not provide it here mean and the standard deviation. So in such a case, by default values are taken as mean value as a 0 and standard deviation is a 1. So this is about the random number generation function. The next function is a denorm, that is a probability density function that provides the probability distribution of the each random numbers or each values of the data set. So let first create the random numbers of the data set. So let me initialize with variable. I have one variable is small x. I am assigning and creating a sequence. Okay, the sequence is from -10 to +10. Okay, and each time sequence is incremented by the value 0.1. Okay, sorry, 0.1 it is, not 0.1, 0.1. Okay, so I have created sequence of the random numbers. Let me print this. So small x, enter. These are the random numbers, -10, -9.9. This way we have reached up to the 10. Now we have to for all these values of the x, okay, we have to generate a probability density function in case of the normal distribution with mean and some standard deviation values. So let the mean is 2.5 and standard deviation is 0.25. No, standard deviation take as a 2 and mean is 2.5. Okay, so I'm considering mean as a, just I'm writing for sake of you here, mean equal to kitna, how much, 2.5 comma standard deviation is equal to 2. Okay, so I'm writing 2. I'm assigning y uh, denorm uh, for the value of x, small x, mean is 2.5 and your standard deviation is 2. Okay, so this way density function is generated. Let's check the values for the to y. This is the values for the density functions. Now we have to plot the probability density function. So we'll write plot, POLT, plot command In plot command, we have to provide first random number, that is x, then our density density values. I will plot. Okay, so here it is generated. It is normal distribution, probability density function curve. So this way it is, we can make some modification here. I can provide the title here. I can rename this x with a random numbers. I can rename this y as a probabilities. Okay, so there are many additions. Let's do it. Comma. So to provide title, I will write main. In inverted commas, I will write probability. In short form, I am write PDF, the probability density function. Then I will provide xlab as random numbers, then ylab as a probabilities. Okay, and I will provide color also, color equal to red. I will hit enter. Okay, now the value is changes. Now title is PDF, in place of x there is random number. So this way we can draw the probability density function. So similarly I have to go for um, pnorm, that is cumulative distribution function. So I will assign one more variable, that is z. Okay, and I will write pnorm, and I'm sorry, hyphen, I forgot hyphen, pnorm, pnorm. And same for the x values, I have to find the cumulative distribution function. So x comma, uh, our mean is 2.5, comma, our standard deviation is 2. Okay, there is some error. Oh, upper, right. Here it is comma. Okay, no, let print z. So here is a cumulative distribution function. Let plot it. Plot. Okay, the random number is x and the PDF is z. Okay, so let plot it. This is your CDF. Okay, we can make some modification like main for the title. What is CDF? It is okay, CDF, and X label, X lab. X lab is random number, comma, Y lab are probabilities, and all color blue. Okay. So this way I can plot the CDF. Now it is time for last inbuilt function, that is qnorm. So qnorm is matches for the probabilities values. So we have to create the probability sequence. So I am creating a probability sequence. Suppose I am assigning a, so sequence, the probability least value is 0 and highest value is 1, and I have to increment the value by equal to 0.1. So I have created a sequence a. Now I have to write the function for the qnorm. So I'm assigning a variable b hyphen qnorm norm. Now for a, for the each value in a that I sequence created, let me show you first a. Okay, what is the value of a's? So these are the values 0, 0.0, 0, 0.1, this way to 1.0. Okay, so I am assigning a variable b, then qnorm. In qnorm I have for each value of a. Okay, In case of normal distribution with mean 2.5 and standard deviation 2, I have to find the random numbers with respect to the probabilities. Okay, so I print. Now plot it. Plot for each value of the probability. So I am taking probability on x-axis and the values on y-axis. So a comma b. This is okay. We can do modification as we know. So main, what is it is it is quantile function, quantile function, and x left. So on x-axis there is a probability. So I will write probabilities, and one y-axis there is a random numbers. So I will write random number. Okay, and color this time it would be sorry green. Okay, so this is a very common. Let have an example. Okay, so let me search for an example. Mm, let me have an example. Normal distribution question. So here study.com there is a one question. Suppose I have question. What is question actually here? Look here. Okay, I'm just copy this question, control C, and paste in onto RStudio with hashtag. Sorry, just retrieve. Yes, it is mistaked again. Hash. Sorry. Okay. So here we have a question. Suppose the total population of an adult male black bear has a weight that are approximately distributed in Norwell 350 75. What is the probability that randomly observed male bear weights more than 450? Now we know that the weights are the normally approximated as a normal distribution with mean 350 and the standard deviation is 75. We have to find the probability that the random observed male bear weighs more than 450. That is, we have to find the probability for x greater than, suppose I am considering weight as a x, so I have to find the probability of x greater than equal to 450. But as we discussed in our theoretical concept that a p norm, that is a probability, if we compute the probability with cumulative probabilities by using p norm function, then it computes only for less than values, does not. So to compute for the greater than values, we first compute with for the less than values, then we'll subtract it from 1. Okay, so first of all let me assign a variable. I will assign variable q. Okay, I will compute the p norm for 450, comma mean is 350, comma standard deviation is 75. If I will hit enter and I will print q, I will get 0.9. This is for probability of x less than 450, but I have to compute for more than 450. Then I will again assign one variable capital Q. that is 1 minus a small q. And I will enter, then capital Q, enter. Then this is the probability for x greater than 40. That is 0.09121122. That is probability for. Conversely, we can check by q norm function. Okay, so okay, as we have computed here for probability x less than 450. Similarly, there is also concept we can compute for the less than values. Okay, so for less than 450 the probability is there, so I will use this probability values. Okay, so I am assigning a variable w, q norm, and control c, comma 350, comma 75. Okay, let print w. W is 450. It means that there are less than 450 values. Okay, whose probabilities is 0.908788. Clear? So this is all about the R normal distribution using R as per the University of the Mumbai. Okay, if you find this course as helpful for you, please like it, and if you are the first visit this channel, then subscribe and press the bell icon in order to get regular notification when I upload the video, and please share it with your friends so they can avail the benefits of this. Okay, thank you, take care, we'll stop here.